Have you ever wondered how you possibly could go from flying this to this to this? You might have also wondered what steps that you need to take so that you can find an insurance company that will actually insure you along the way, so that one day you could get into your new beautiful Cirrus Vision SF50 Jet and fly the aircraft of your dreams. Well, no worries, because it's Caleb here from Air 101 and we're gonna talk about it. I'm an aviation insurance broker as well as a commercial pilot, and over the years I've had the opportunity to be able to fly a Cirrus SR20, Cirrus SR22, and a Vision Jet. And now, besides getting that flex out of the way, I just have to say how amazing these machines are. They're beautifully made and engineered in such a way that makes flying these aircraft so easy. Of course, with the right training program. Now, in saying that, I want to first answer the question, is it possible for a relatively new pilot to be able to get insurance so that they could start flying a Cirrus Vision Jet? Now, the answer is possibly yes, but you must try and follow these 5 steps as close as possible to make it work. And if you stay to the end of this video, I'm gonna give you my final thoughts on flying the Cirrus Vision Jet. Now remember, throughout this video, when I talk about the jet itself, I'm not just gonna be trying to read all the details that you can already find on their website, just to try to make myself sound super knowledgeable about every single detail about the aircraft. But instead, I just wanna tell you how I personally felt about the aircraft and flying it. Okay, let's get to it. Number 1, do your research. Now, one thing I really have to say about getting insurance, whether it's getting insurance for a Cirrus SR22 or a Vision Jet, I have to say this: make sure that you use an experienced aviation insurance broker that really knows the market. Because if you try to use multiple brokers to shop to the same aviation insurance companies, you could possibly get a chance of not getting aircraft insurance at all for the SR22 or the Vision Jet. My recommendation is this: is whatever country you're in, talk to the local pilots who maybe have a high valued Cirrus SR22 or a Vision Jet, and ask them what insurance company that they used, as well as what aviation insurance broker they went to that helped them out to get their aircraft insurance policy. Then I recommend calling that aircraft insurance broker and finding a little bit about them. How often do they do aircraft insurance? Do they know the aircraft? Do they really know the current aircraft insurance market, etc.? If so, at this point, it might be worth filling out the application and applying for an aircraft insurance quote. Please remember, this is a serious aircraft, so make sure that you find a serious aircraft insurance broker that really knows the aircraft and knows how to put together your application in a way that makes you look like the best pilot, like you truly are, and represents you to the insurance company in the best way possible. Number 2, transitioning from a Cirrus SR20 or Cirrus SR22 to a Cirrus Vision Jet. Insurance companies really like it when pilots go and buy a Cirrus SR20 or 22 and fly that aircraft for a couple hundred hours, then transition to a Cirrus Vision Jet. Now, I want to briefly mention, it is possible as a newer pilot to get insurance on a Cirrus SR20 or 22, if once again you use the right aviation insurance broker and the right aviation insurance company. Even student pilots could possibly get insurance on a Cirrus SR20 or a Cirrus SR22, but it just has to be done right. I remember a couple years ago finding an aviation insurance company who was willing to insure an individual who was a student pilot who just bought $1 million Cirrus SR22. This individual ended up doing their pilot's license on the Cirrus SR22 and flew the aircraft for hundreds of hours. The reason why I want to bring this up is it showed me that a student pilot can truly train on a Cirrus SR22. Now, in saying that, I do have to say it's usually best to do 10 or 20 hours on either a Cessna 172 or a Piper PA-28, because I remember, honestly, for myself, I bought so many landings before I did my first solo. All I have to say is, number 1, thanks to my flight instructor for putting up with me, and number 2, sorry to that poor Cessna 172. Now, here's why insurance companies like it when an individual transitions from a Cirrus SR22 to a Cirrus Vision Jet. When I went up in the demo flight in the Cirrus Vision Jet, I did it with Cliff Allen, a Cirrus representative and a demo pilot for the Vision Jet. I have put his contact details in the notes section of this video, where you can email him if you have any questions about the Cirrus Vision Jet, or if you would possibly like to purchase one. But he explained to me how easy it is to transition from the Cirrus SR22 into the Cirrus Vision Jet. Before the flight in the Vision Jet, Alan and I had talked about this a lot over the phone. He said it over and over again, it is really easy to transition from the Cirrus SR22 into the Cirrus Vision Jet. But to be honest, honest, I didn't fully believe it until I went flying with him. First of all, he is a fantastic demo pilot and I felt 100% safe flying with him. Now the thing is, although I've had the opportunity over the years to fly different aircraft such as a Cessna 150, 152, 172, a Musketeer, Comanche, Mooney, I've even had the opportunity to fly an L-29 Delphin fighter jet. But the thing is, I'm still a relatively low time pilot with only 400 hours total time. So to be honest, I was extremely nervous hopping into the Cirrus Vision Jet. But after going through the checklist, how easy it was to turn on the Cirrus Vision Jet's engine, taxi, takeoff, fly the aircraft, and then land it, it made me realize how ergonomically Cirrus has made this aircraft. Everything was basically in the same spot as the Cirrus SR-22. And at this point, I finally understood why it's so great when a pilot transitions from flying a Cirrus SR-22 to a Cirrus Vision Jet. If you do it this way, it will go a long way with the aviation insurance company. Number 3, do the proper training. Do the proper training syllabus from a Cirrus standardized instructor pilot, or go and do the training at one of the Cirrus training centers with a CSIP flight instructor. And maybe in some cases, get extra dual hours above and beyond the training syllabus. The great thing about Cirrus is if you go buy a Cirrus aircraft, in most cases they will automatically send up a CSIP flight instructor to do training with you on your new aircraft. They do this for a couple of reasons. Reason number 1, they genuinely care about all the pilots buying aircraft from them. So they want to make sure that these pilots are looked after and know how to safely and proficiently fly the Cirrus Vision Jet. The second reason is they have a great reputation and they want to uphold that so that the aviation insurance companies will continue to write the Cirrus aircraft. And the third main reason is they want to eliminate the chance of fatalities by providing an advanced training course specific to the Cirrus aircraft. So when you're applying for aircraft insurance, usually the insurance companies will first want you to do this training course provided by Cirrus. But after that, if you're a relatively low time pilot and you're trying to buy the Cirrus Vision Jet, they might want you to do some further dual training, such as an extra 25 hours, 50 hours, even 100 or possibly more dual hours prior to flying solo. Now you may think this is a lot, but you have to remember when you're flying an aircraft in Canada, Transport Canada is only providing the minimum so that you can legally fly an aircraft. And this is the baseline that you are starting with. After this, you're going to have to abide to what the aircraft insurance company says. Because think about it, they're the ones who are providing the aircraft insurance quote to you. If you go and fly that aircraft and afterwards go and crash the aircraft, it's not going to be Transport Canada that's going to be paying out the loss. No, it will possibly be the aircraft insurance company that will be paying out the loss. And you need to remember, the aircraft insurance company is the one that is providing liability insurance. So if you don't want to go and do this training, then technically your aircraft insurance policy will be invalid, and then you won't have liability insurance, which then means you'll be in violation of the Transport Canada's regulations. As you can see, it's just one big circle, so pay attention to what Transport Canada wants, as well as the aviation insurance company, and then you'll make everyone happy. Number 4, paying high insurance premiums and having high deductibles. Be prepared to spend a lot of money on your aircraft insurance and possibly take a high deductible. If you are buying a Cirrus Vision Jet, you are buying an expensive aircraft. So you have to remember, in most cases, the aircraft insurance policy is going to be expensive as well. As well as in most cases, you'll probably have a high deductible. This is just going to be the case when you're insuring roughly a 4 million Canadian dollar aircraft. So make sure that you plan and budget for this, especially for the first year of owning the Cirrus Vision Jet. Now, if you end up getting the Cirrus Vision Jet and you ended up getting aircraft insurance, I just want to say this. I really don't know what the aircraft insurance market is going to be 12 months from now or 24 months from now. So I can't really say that your rates will go down even if you fly a whole bunch of hours on the aircraft. But my recommendation is this. Still go out and fly a bunch of hours on the Cirrus Vision Jet. It will show your insurance company that you're serious about flying and remaining current, which could possibly lower your aircraft insurance rate. My other recommendation is this. When your first year of flying the Vision Jet is almost done, make sure when your aircraft insurance broker sends you an aircraft insurance application 30 to 60 days out from the renewal date, make sure that you fill out this application right away and send it back to your aircraft insurance broker. This will give them the opportunity to work with your current aviation insurance company to make sure that you have the best price. Also at this time, your aircraft insurance broker can then take that application and shop it to the other markets. Maybe these markets weren't willing to quote you at the beginning because you had no make and model on the Cirrus Vision Jet. But now that you went and flown the aircraft for a year, put on a couple hundred hours, they might be willing to look at your aircraft insurance application and give you a good rate. By getting your application back to your aircraft insurance broker early, it allows your aircraft insurance broker to do their job and try and help you get a better rate for your Cirrus Vision Jet. Number 5, have a good attitude. What do I mean by that? Along the whole process, just be positive and accept to a certain degree the training that you'll be required to do, as well as the insurance premium that you will have to pay. If along the way the insurance company requires you to do more than just the training syllabus, but then you fight them on it by saying, I'm a great pilot, I don't need to fly all that time with a CSIP instructor before I can fly solo, or I don't have enough time to do that much training, then these are all red flags to the insurance company. And if they have already given you a quote for the Cirrus Vision Jet and hear that you have this attitude, they might rescind that quote and not offer it to you. Or if they are about to quote you and once again they hear that you have this type of attitude, they might not quote you at all, which means that you might not be able to get insurance for your new Cirrus Vision Jet. This can all happen just because of a pilot's attitude. Remember, the aircraft insurance companies don't have to offer an aircraft insurance quote. Also, if the insurance price comes in at a certain amount, sometimes there may be a little bit of wiggle room, but not much on these jets at this time in the current insurance market, especially for a lower time pilot. Over the years, I've had the opportunity to work with thousands and thousands of different pilots. And you know, the ones with good attitudes who are willing to do the training, it goes a long way with the insurance company. And to be honest, there is no reason why you shouldn't have a good attitude. You have to look at it this way. You are doing all of this so that you not only get to buy, but you get to fly one of the coolest jets that's ever been made. Now, these are the 5 steps that if you follow closely will be able to help you get insurance on your new Cirrus Vision Jet. I'm so stoked that you made it to the end of the video because now I get to give you my final thoughts on flying this Cirrus Vision Jet. I'm used to flying aircraft that have 4 seats or less and weighs a lot less than the Vision Jet. So when I was told I get to possibly do a demo flight in the Cirrus Vision Jet, not only was I extremely excited, but I was also very, very nervous. I was thinking this aircraft is going to be way too complex for me. But as soon as we got into the hangar and saw the machine, it was not as big as I expected. Then we got the aircraft towed outside and we were preparing our flight from Vancouver to Kelowna, BC. Here is the moment of truth. Cliff Allen, the Cirrus sales representative and demo pilot, told me to press one button to turn on the jet engine. Yes, just one button. That easy.
Put your finger on the engine start-stop button, press it and hold it for a count of 3, and then it'll release it.
Okay.
Good?
1, 2, 3.
Beautiful. Here comes our ITTs, are rising. A hot start would be if these go above the green, but the engine will shut itself down before it'll let it do that.
After that, we taxied onto the runway and took off, retracted the gear, and was off to Kelowna. It was easy to keep the aircraft on the center line on takeoff, especially without the left turn tendencies that a prop plane has. I can't even explain how awesome seeing out the massive window is. As you can see, look how great the visibility is here. Also, the engine was extremely quiet. Having the parachute really made me feel a lot more comfortable flying over the mountains, rugged terrain, etc. In saying that, it also made my wife feel more comfortable knowing that I was flying an aircraft that had a parachute in it. So all you wives out there that are nervous about your husbands flying an aircraft, let them buy a Cirrus Vision Jet because it has a parachute in it. Or you ladies out there, if your husbands are nervous that when you're flying an aircraft, let your wife buy a Vision Jet because it has a parachute in it. It was a very enjoyable ride. And the whole time I was smiling because let's face it, I was flying a jet. After we flew to Kelowna and back, it was my time to land the jet back at Vancouver YVR. Now that day it was quite windy, but I could honestly barely even notice it in the Vision Jet. Now I was thinking to myself at this very moment, how did I get to this point in my life that I get to land a personal jet? As we came in for the landing, I could tell that Cliff Allen really trusted me by this point of the flight. But as we were coming in for the stabilized approach, I realized at this point, it wasn't that he necessarily trusted me, but instead he fully trusted the Cirrus Vision Jet and its capabilities. We came in and as you can see, Allen let me land the jet. It maybe wasn't my best landing, but it was an amazing journey to feel that I could fly a jet in less than 2 hours. That is how simple and easy this aircraft is to fly. Of course, I would still need a lot of training if I wanted to fly solo, but this was just a fantastic opportunity that I had. So yes, maybe at first I wasn't convinced that if somebody had 4 million Canadian dollars, why they would want to buy a Cirrus Vision Jet. But now I 100% completely understand that if somebody wanted a simple, easy, and safety-oriented personal jet, why they would choose the Cirrus Vision SF50 Jet. Now, if you want to improve your chances on getting insurance on a new aircraft, then I recommend that you watch this video right here that talks about the 3 major mistakes that pilots make when buying an aircraft. Now, stay safe, have fun flying. Hopefully one day you get to fly the Cirrus Vision Jet, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.